So Razer's fresh new Barracuda Pro gaming headset is actually a bit of a two-in-one affair. It's also designed to double up as a pair of premium headphones, and therefore it doesn't actually look anything like a gaming headset, so you don't feel like a complete cocksplat when you use it out in public. It's also built to work with as many devices as possible, so gaming wise it works well with PCs, PlayStations and portable devices like the Nintendo Switch and the Steam Deck, as well as Bluetooth gadgets like Androids and iPhones. Now Razer has actually just launched 3 new Barracuda branded gaming headsets fresh for 2022, and the Barracuda Pro is the most premium of the trio at 249 quid. You can grab it right now from Razer.com. For the last week now, I've been using the Barracuda Pro as my full-time gaming headset and also my full-time headphones when I've been prancing merrily about out in public. So here's my in-depth Barracuda Pro review, and for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do plug subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! Now first up, I gotta say mission accomplished, Razer. This definitely looks more like an actual pair of premium headphones than a gaming headset. The design looks and feels premium with a steel headband and proper leather cups slapped on there as well, but it does just come in one colour, black. And with the exception of the teeniest little bit of green highlighting for that mic mute button over on the left cup, it really is 100% black. Even Razer's iconic logo etched onto both of the cups here is pure black, so you could barely even see them. I mean seriously, it's kind of like they drafted in Batman to design this thing. And like most premium gaming headsets, the Barracuda Pro isn't exactly lightweight at 340 grams, although thankfully you can barely feel that weight when it is slapped on your bonds thanks to the generous amounts of padding in every area. You got massive memory leather ear cups here, and these can't be removed and replaced or cleaned, so if you do get a bit sweaty during a particularly intensive online session, so to speak, then basically tough shit. And the inside of the headband is thickly padded as well, an absolute godsend if you've got no natural padding like my baldy bonce right here. And because this headset is designed to be worn like a pair of headphones when you're out and about, you thankfully won't find some pokey out microphone dangling in front of your face and poking you in the lips like something unspeakable. Instead, those mics are cleverly integrated into the cups themselves, but more on those later. Oh, before I forget to mention it entirely as well, you do get a bundled carry case with the Razer Barracuda Pro. It's a bit of a big one, not gonna lie. It's gonna take up a sizable amount of space inside of a backpack or a case, but it does keep the headphones protected when needed, and you do have a nifty little pull-out drawer bit for all of your cables and the dongle and all the other bits that you get bundled. Now the Barracuda Pro uses Razer's SmartSwitch dual wireless tech, which helps you to connect effortlessly to a pair of devices at once. You can connect mobile kit such as your smartphone, your Nintendo Switch, your Steam Deck quickly and effortlessly using Bluetooth. Setup is quick and painless. I had absolutely zero issues with the connection strength the whole time, nice and stable, that's for sure, even when you're out and about. Or alternatively, Razer also bundles this cute little Type-C USB transmitter which you can slap into a port on your PlayStation 5 for instance, or your gaming laptop, and again just bung it in there and it instantly starts working. Just a double tap of that handy SmartSwitch button on the headset allows you to instantly switch the connection between whichever device the dongle is stuffed inside of and the last device that you paired up to using Bluetooth. This proves incredibly handy if, for instance, you're gaming on your PlayStation, all of a sudden you're receiving a phone call that you want to take, just double tap and you are connected to the phone's audio instead. And I found in my testing that there was effectively zero audio latency whether you're using that hyperspeed dongle or a good bit of Bluetooth. However, take note that while the Razer Barracuda Pro does play nicely with PCs, laptops, PlayStations, Steam Decks, Nintendo Switches, etc, it currently is not compatible with the Xbox. If you want a proper good Xbox headset, then definitely go check out my review of the B&O BO Play Portal, which is an absolute cracker. Now, when you do happen to be using the Razer Barracuda Pro as a pair of headphones as opposed to a gaming headset, you've got full media controls via the various buttons, most of which are aligned here on the left cup. Just a quick tap of that power button, for instance, will pause or play your audio. You can double tap it to skip forward a track, and you can triple tap it in order to go back a track. And when you're connected to your smartphone, you can also use that power button to answer or reject any phone calls that come in. You've also got a very handy volume dial positioned just above that to raise or lower the volume at any point. And then just next to that is the mic mute button. And when that's depressed and the one and only hint of color has disappeared from sight, those mics are switched off. And then over on the other cup, it's just the SmartSwitch button, which you can use, as I said before, to swap between 2 different devices at the same time. Now you can also use this to switch between the various ANC modes, and I'll be banging on about that in a bit. Now the Barracuda Pro packs in Razer's very own upgraded Tri-Force Biocellulose 50mm drivers, and those are combined here on the Pro with a bit of THX AAA action. That's an achromatic audio amplifier. Quite the bloody mouthful that sentence was. And in a nutshell, this just allows the Barracuda Pro to pump out incredibly high fidelity audio without draining too much power. And sure enough, the sound quality out of these things is seriously beefy. You can expect accurate tonal reproduction across the entire range, from the deep rumbly bass up to those crisp, clean highs. Seriously, it is premium audio through and through. And if you want to, you can also tinker around with the audio settings using Razer's very own audio app. Now unfortunately, this does usually take a wee while to actually recognize that the Barracuda Pro headset is connected to your smartphone, which can be mildly irritating to say the least. We're talking a good sort of 10 seconds or so. But then once you're in there, you've got a good little tool set you can play around with. You can see an accurate representation of how much battery life is actually remaining in the Barracuda Pro. You've also got an equalizer you can play around with if you want a very specific kind of audio output. Alternatively, there are a small number of presets you can use. You've got Razer's usual game mode. You've also got access to the active noise cancellation and mic noise cancellation features through here. Now, unlike the other Barracuda branded 2022 gaming headsets that Razer has just launched, the Pro model sports hybrid active noise cancellation, hybrid ANC, using both the interior and exterior mics to basically pick up any unwanted stuff going on all around you and allegedly drown that shit out. You can turn ANC on or off using that SmartSwitch button, which I mentioned earlier on the right cup. Otherwise, you can do it via the app itself as well. You've got three different modes. You've got on, off, or ambient modes. The ambient mode actually allows you to listen in on whatever's going on around you, so it's the opposite of ANC. If you stick on ANC as well, you can also select what level of noise cancellation you want from low to high. However, I've got to say the noise canceller not particularly impressive here on the Razer Barracuda Pro. You get a fair amount of isolation from everything that's going on around you simply by the fact you've got these big fat leather padded cups slapped around your ears, completely enveloping them. But the actual noise cancellation itself, whether it's on low or maxed out levels, doesn't seem to make much of an impact to traffic sounds, to chatter that's going on around you, all that kind of shenanigans. And certainly if you're on a train or a London tube or something where it gets quite noisy, then it doesn't really do much at all to drown those out either. So compared with rivals from the likes of Sony and Bose, it's definitely pretty weak sauce. And as I mentioned earlier, you get a pair of microphones built into the actual cups here on the Razer Barracuda Pro. They are beamforming microphones, so they're designed only to pick up on sounds coming out of your mouthful region. And if you're curious, this is a recording that I shot on my MacBook Pro using the Razer Barracuda Pro and those built-in beamforming mics. As you can hear, quite clearly and cleanly picking up on my voice. Of course, this is in a completely silent studio, so now I'm about to play some background traffic. There it goes. That's been blasted out of a massive Marshall speaker right next to my head. And as you can hear, the mic's still doing a really solid job of just picking up on my voice and sort of drowning out, dampening some of that traffic noise. Now last up, battery life, and that's another area where the Razer Barracuda Pro really impresses me. Razer itself reckons you'll get around 40 hours of full-on use from a single charge of these bad boys, and I've got to say, that sounds pretty much spot on. And while I haven't exactly been keeping a fucking spreadsheet of exactly how many minutes I've been using them, I would say about 40 hours is about right, and that's with the noise cancelling technology turned on, as ineffective as it sadly is. So certainly if you do want to be using them as a full-on gaming headset and headphones when you're on a long-ass trip, well, they will do the job. And that in a nutshell is my review of the Razer Barracuda Pro. And I've got to say, if you are looking for a gaming headset that will double up as a pair of headphones to use out and about for a variety of devices as well, so you're sorted at home with your PlayStation, not your Xbox so much, and on the road as well with your Nintendo Switch, your Steam Deck, or whatever you got going on. The design is pretty slick, the audio quality is fantastic, they're nice and comfortable to wear for hours at a time. It's just a shame the noise cancellation wasn't a bit better, but that's my only gripe beyond the fact that obviously they cost 250 quid, so they ain't exactly cheap. So anywho, that's what I think of the Razer Barracuda Pro, but what do you guys reckon? It'd be great to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. Please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell for more on the latest and greatest tech, and have yourselves a ruddy lovely rest of the week. Cheers everyone, love you.